Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig deep into the world of business filings. Today we are cracking open KIRKLAND'S Inc. proxy statement for the upcoming shareholder meeting. It's like reading a company's diary but with less drama, or so we think. Prepare yourself in this report. KIRKLAND'S is thinking about a name chance before we dive in. If you like understanding what really goes on in publicly traded companies, don't forget to subscribe. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we chat about the latest business moves. First up is the letter from Amy E. Sullivan, the President and Chief Executive Officer. She's inviting shareholders to attend the annual meeting in Brentwood, Tennessee. It sounds like a party, except the only thing getting popped is shareholder value, hopefully, and they want you to vote. Now, let's look at what's on the agenda for this meeting. Shareholders will be voting on several key proposals, including declassifying the board of directors, which we will dig into in a bit, electing directors, changing the company's name, and importantly, voting on executive compensation. What that means is basically giving thumbs up or thumbs down on how much the top bosses get paid. We will revisit the financials later. The first big item, an amendment to the company's charter to declassify their board of directors. Currently, the board has members serving staggered 3-year terms. Think of that as mixing new apples and old apples. This proposal would switch to annual elections where all directors are elected each year. That would give shareholders more say on who's running the show every period. Why the change? The board says it's listening to shareholders who want more accountability from directors. Many big investors prefer annual elections. Of course, there are also arguments for keeping the classified board how it is, like resisting unwanted takeovers, but the board decided to move forward with this sentiment from shareholders. With the potential declassification on the table, the proxy lays out 2 different scenarios for electing the directors. Either there is an election for 5 directors each for a 1-year term, or for Class II and the further positions. There have been some recent changes to the board, including the departure of some directors and the addition of new members. They definitely reshaped this committee quickly. Tamara R. Ward and Stephen C. Woodward were nominated to the committee by Beyond Inc., an investor, and now the board is set at 5 members. Another hot topic in every proxy, they want to approve an amendment to the company's equity incentive plan. The plan that lets them give stock options and such to employees. The goal of this amendment is to increase the number of common shares available for issuance under this plan from 5,500,000 to 8,500,000 to 8,500,000. It is effectively a way to give more stock to employees as incentives. As of the end of May, they only had a bit over 600,000 shares available, and the board wants to add 3 million more, so big dilution. They believe that is necessary to support equity incentive programs for 2-3 years. Here's the big one. KIRKLAND'S wants to change its name to the Brand House Collective Inc. They say the current name doesn't reflect the company anymore, and they want to align with their strategic partnership with Beyond Inc. They are rolling out Bed Bath & Beyond Home as well as Overstock stores, and continue plans for opening Bye Bye Barbie and Bed Bath & Beyond stores. Here is the part that you can complain and they might listen. It is time for the non-binding advisory vote on executive compensation. This is where shareholders get to weigh in on whether they think the top executives are getting paid too much, too little, or just right. The board will consider the results of this vote, what shareholders think of the executive pay, but aren't obligated to do that to act on it. Last but not least, shareholders are asked to ratify the selection of Ernst & Young L as the independent accounting firm for the next fiscal year. A vote for is generally a routine approval of the auditor chosen by the audit committee. Now let's take a quick look at the key players on the board of directors. The document goes into detail about each nominee's background and experience. Some are former executives of Bed Bath & Beyond who bring knowledge and experience to the board. This is good to know, but can be too much information, so we will move swiftly. Alright, time to talk about money. Let's have a glance at the director compensation table from last year. Anne E. Joyce made approximately $100,000 in G's and stock awards. Charlie Plays Free got about $107,000, and Jill A. Soltow earned about $108,000. Keep in mind these numbers are from the year. Here we can see who owns big chunks of the company. Amy E. Sullivan owns 99,748 shares, or less than 1%. Anne E. Joyce owns 449,906. Beyond Inc. 402,880 shares, representing 49.8% ownership. This is a substantial portion and highlights Beyond Inc.'s significant influence on KIRKLAND'S Okay, let's dive into the executive pay details in the summary compensation table. It's time to figure out whether or not you should be angry at how much they got paid. For fiscal year 2024, Amy E. Sullivan had a salary of $523,683 Accession Number, and Tony Allen's salary was $400,000 with total compensation of $507 with total compensation of $1,023,683 and $683,630 and $500 with total a few promotions in the year had a salary of $200 with totally free $1 few promotions in the year had a salary of $230. Michael Madden's salary was $400,000 with total compensation of $573 total, and 5 of these promotions in the year had a salary of $200,000 with totally $3 few promotions in the year had a salary of $270 for each and $562. Compared to the other ones, it's not that bad. This is a big range and we will have a broader look. Nobody gets those bonuses, folks. For fiscal 2024, the bonuses were based on achieving a $25 million EBITDA target, and the company's actual EBITDA showed a loss of $4.3 million, which was below the threshold required. There were no awarded bonuses for those executives. Here is the big table that everyone likes to point to for their arguments. For 2024, Amy Sullivan, the CEO, made $1.02 million total compensation. Yet the company lost $23 differently, but what does change is the stock performance, which had negative shareholder return. All around bad incentives for those executives. Here's another important thing. The document outlines the company's policies around related party transactions. It has to do with transactions with executives or major shareholders. The audit committee reviews these to make sure everything is fair and above board. Finally, Kirkland's estimates they will be paying $15,000 to solicit the proxy and advise them on what actions to take. Nothing too big. So after dissecting this proxy statement, what's the overall picture? Kirkland's, or soon to be the Brand House Collective, is undergoing a significant transformation. Their board is shifting new branding strategy and their operations with Beyond. Inc. shows that they may be on the right path, they need capital, and Beyond seems to be the right way to get those things done quickly. However, there are still challenges. The lack of executive bonuses shows that they are not hitting revenue or profit targets, but a brand change could signal the start of that transformation. Bonuses shows that they are not hitting revenue or profit targets, but a brand change could signal the start of that transformation. Ultimately, it's up to the shareholders to approve these proposals and decide the future look of the company, but the data is there to make your decision. Alright, that's our breakdown of Kirkland's proxy statement. What's your take on these potential changes and the future strategy being laid out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.